What is up, YouTube? Alright, JKJ Fit here, back with another video. If you've seen my first video, thank you. If you haven't, please go check it out. It would mean the world to me as I'm still growing. Anyways, into today's video. Alright, so this video is a bit different to last video. This one's going to be 5 things I wish I knew when I started training legs. First, genetics, right? Genetics are going to play a massive role. If you're a shorter person, you're generally going to have bigger legs than someone who's taller. Why? Taller people have longer femurs, right? So do not compare yourself to someone who is shorter, because they're generally going to have bigger legs. And I say generally because there are outliers to this. There are absolute monsters who are tall and have huge legs. But that's not for everyone, right? Like I said, genetics plays a massive factor. Now, you can't get caught up in your genetics. This isn't things you can change. There's no point beating yourself around the bush because you were born tall and it's harder for you to grow legs. It's not impossible for you to grow legs. You're just gonna have to work harder, all right? So do not beat yourself up over things you cannot control. Now, this generally took me a while to understand because I was training with my mate. We're gonna be squatting and he's a shorter person, legs will be blowing up. And I'm like, why aren't my legs blowing up? Little did I know that, like, when you think about it, it's fucking obvious. Like, his muscles were this long, like his femurs, right? Mine are this. Obviously, it's gonna be harder and gonna take longer for someone with longer muscles to grow, right? Because before it bulges out, it has to fill out, right? It's a longer head, it's harder. It doesn't mean it's impossible. Obviously, generally, like I said, people with shorter legs do have bigger legs and they're more compact, dense muscles than people with longer legs. But it's not impossible, right? So you need to understand that genetics are something you cannot control. You're born this way, deal with it, love yourself for who you are, right? You work on yourself and you can become happy with anything. Now I think I'm a prime example of that. As you'll see here, my legs are twigs, right? I was a runner, I was a soccer player, I was a swimmer, I was an athlete, period. All I did was run, walk, I was always active, but never in the gym. And that's why my legs were like that. Now, if you look here, that's what 5 years of hard work does. Really hard work. But another key factor, consistency. If you are consistent at anything, not just in training legs, you will succeed, right? If you are training hard, you're giving it 100%, your time will come that your legs grow. You need to be showing up and giving everything. You might want to skip. I don't want to do legs today. That's fine. Take a rest day, all right? Take a rest day. Don't skip legs. Don't go, oh, I'll do push, then pull, and then I'll hit legs again. Because that's 2-3 days later that you're hitting the legs that you're meant to hit today. Whereas if you rest today, then it's only tomorrow that you're hitting your legs again, right? Now you need to be hitting legs, actually, in general, the most part, you need to be hitting each body part twice a week, right? Like, that's a good basis to start off, especially when you're first starting, because then beginner gains are gonna be ridiculous, right? So if you can consistently hit each body part twice a week, right? And I'm not talking bro split. I mean, you'll still gain off bro splits, right? I have nothing against them, each their own. But generally, in my perspective and my opinion, if you're doing a legs push-pull, best way, right? Obviously, if you do bro splits, nothing against you. You've obviously developed your own ways, and that's fine. But in my opinion, push-pull leg splits are the best, right? So back to what I was saying. All right, so consistency, no skipping, training each muscle group twice a week, right? Now, within that, you want to try and hit compounds, right? Focus not only on, obviously, like I was saying before, the one muscle group, but focus on multiple, right? Especially when it comes to legs, right? Like you do your squats and your deadlifts. You can bring in your quads, your hamstring, right? And then your abductor muscles. Like, why wouldn't you? Why would you want to just hit leg extensions and hamstring curls? You're not going to develop at the same rate as if you're hitting the compound movements and then your isolation movements, right? You can hit both. Wear them legs out. Like I said, you want to be hitting strength training pretty much and hypertrophy training. So prime example, squats. If you can hit like a top set of 3 or 5, you know, something heavy, at like an RPE 8, so you're not completely cooked, and then go back off and do 3-4 sets of 10 or 12, then you got the best of both worlds, you know. You've stimulated that muscle by going heavy. Then you've backed off so you don't completely fry your CNS, and you've hit hypertrophy work in the sense of you've then squatted something considerably less weight for more reps, right? That way you can focus on your form and you don't get sloppy and you don't injure yourself. Because there's benefits in going heavy and there's benefits in doing more reps, right? And if you can incorporate the best of both worlds, then the sky's your limit. Now, back to what I was saying. There are 3 primary muscle groups, right? And under them 3 primary muscle groups, there are more muscles. But I'm not going to go into them. Why? Because generally you don't need to know them. Like, you're not going to do an exercise and think, oh, I'm working this muscle, you know, I'm isolating this one. Like, you're just not, right? It's not going to work. And generally, anything I say now, you're probably just going to daze off. Your quads, your hamstring, and your abductors, right? Now, like I said, the compound movements are going to bring into effect all 3 of them. Now, this is primarily where your muscle development is going to come from. On top of that, you're going to back off and you're going to do exercises like your Bulgarian split squats, right? And leg press. Now, for these exercises, as you'll see later when I do my workout, you don't need to stack on plates upon plates upon plates and just absolutely smash the shit out of leg press, alright? I've seen people that train less frequently than me, that stick on more plates on leg press and just bounce it or do half reps. Stop, right? Lose the ego, take the plates off, control the weight, right? 2 seconds down, 1 second up. Don't do 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Like, you're not going to stimulate your muscles like, oh, you're just bouncing weight, right? Generally, if you control and have a tempo to any movement, you're going to stimulate the muscle at a greater rate. So, these are 5 factors that I really wish I knew when I started. And these are all from experience. Like, I was someone who used to freaking bench and I just go bounce up, you know? And my chest is shit. I'll come out and say it. My chest is my worst body part by far. And the progression I've seen alone since I've started controlling the weight, as you probably saw in my last video, I was doing incline for 80, but it was slow tempo. Like, that was like 2.5, 3 seconds decline and then stop up. You know what I mean? I wasn't bouncing no weight. Good on you if you can hit 3 plates on incline bouncing it. I'm nothing against you. Some people are ridiculously strong and I still think like that's sick. I wouldn't be able to do that myself even if I did bounce it. But if you're purely looking at developing muscle tissue, I reckon the best way to stimulate it is by controlling an exercise. Right? You're going to get more stimulation of a muscle from controlling an exercise than you are from bouncing it. Period. So for pre-workout today, we'll be having 2 scoops of this and 1 of this. Generally, that's pump and this is stim. But I do love to mix them together because they create better flavors in my opinion. Like, they're sick alone, don't get me wrong, especially this one. I think I've said it before, like especially on my Instagram stories if you view them. Like, the Rocket Pop's my favorite, but this Berry Blast just adds like a nice fruity flavor to it as well. So yeah, code will be in the description below. So if you want to go pick yourself some up, use the code JKJFIT and you'll save 10%.
Yeah, no, I'm stuck like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Yo, like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Yeah, no, I'm stuck like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. Yo, like I'm touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown. My dance like a touchdown. I can do my dance like a touchdown.
Alright, so for this exercise, which is Bulgarian split squat, off the weight as you come down, but in power up. Just to emphasize muscle contraction and mind-muscle connection. What's up, guys? Alright, so just finished that workout and then had a quick shower. I just want to say, I think it's pretty cool that, like, even though my legs aren't the biggest, people still relate with me. Like, my story of coming from like the skinny athletic legs to having somewhat some size. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. That's pretty much what I do on a weekly basis, twice a week, like I said, for my legs. Hopefully it might help you guys. I hope this video brought some wealth to you in knowledge. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave the video here for now, and then I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.